Ecoflow is a top-rated brand here at QVC. To hand that badge out, well, that's a pretty rare thing to happen. I'm not sure of many other brands that I've seen that are rated as a top-rated brand, and yet Ecoflow has fit the bill. Why is that? Because there's a big problem that's out there. When we lose power in our home, it's not very easy to get back on. And on top of that, it's also a guessing game as to how long it's going to be until we have the power turned on. Well, I'll tell you right now, I just did a little search. 26,000 Americans are without power. The 20,000 last night that were out of power in Texas, well, they got it back on. But Florida just went down. And now in Florida, there are 12,318 people that don't have power. Every day, states all across this country lose power for a variety of reasons. Is it storms that come in? Is there construction that shuts something down? Was there an accident that knocked a pole out of commission for a little bit? The reality is it's pretty unpredictable as to when you're going to lose power, but it's not a matter of if, it truly is when you lose power. What do? Well, I'll tell you what I do in my house. I take out my Ecoflow. I power up my fridge. I could do so for 28 hours continuously because that's the power and performance that you're getting out of this Delta 3 1500. In comparison to the Delta 2, this one is 18 pounds lighter, and yet it has the same amount of power. This charges faster than what you might be used to, from 0 to 100% in just 90 minutes. That's an incredible speed. My cell phone takes longer to charge than this does. This has an immense amount of power, and it also has an immense amount of savings today. You are saving $459 off of our price, bringing it down to $859.98. $172 is your easy pay option if you want to put it onto that. If you would like to use your Q card, we do have 9-month special financing that is available. We'll be about $95 in change if you were to divide that evenly to be able to bring this home over the next 9 months. So do use your Q card on this. If you don't have one, talk to our order operator about getting one. But here at QVC, we don't just give you the Ecoflow. We also give you this trolley here as well. The trolley that you're getting included with this is fantastic because the Ecoflow itself weighs about 42 pounds. What that means for you is that you can easily take this in and out, be able to bring it with you absolutely anywhere because of that trolley. The trolley also allows for you to have access to all of the ports, even when this is on it. The other great thing about this trolley too is not only does it work with your Ecoflow Delta 3, but if you have that Ecoflow Delta 2 at home, you can use this. I say that because a lot of people like to add more than one Ecoflow. A lot of people like to have one on each floor. So if you want to use the trolley for your Delta 2 and use this one, which is a little bit lighter, your Delta 3, to be able to then carry around, you could certainly do that as well. The other great thing too is if you picked up the solar panel option in a previous model, well, that solar panel is universal to all of these power stations. So that means you can plug your existing solar panel into this. Whether this is your second Ecoflow or maybe perhaps this is your first, I will tell you from personal experience, this will be one of the best things you have ever purchased. A good friend of mine who has used Ecoflow for years now is Melissa Dawson, who joins us via Skype. Melissa, so good to see you yet again with our Ecoflow. I love how powerful this is and also how affordable it is today with $459 of savings.
I know this really is kind of the perfect Ecoflow for the masses because now they've made it lighter, smaller, more compact, but it's still a punch. So 1,500 watts of power coming included. And if you're tuning in saying, okay, exactly what is this? So this is portable electricity in a box. Let's face it, we all want backup electricity, but up until now, there's only been 2 ways to get it. You either had to do the whole home generator system, which is $10,000 to $20,000. You have to sign up for like a fuel tank and yearly maintenance, all of that. And if you sell your home, you're not taking that system with you, or you have to get a gas generator. Now, gas generators can be great, but for somebody like me that can't even start a lawnmower, I'm probably not going to get a gas generator started. And you have to maintain them, spark plugs, you have to use them outside, run extension cords, and they're extremely noisy. So if you live in a homeowners association, a condo, an apartment, like a lot of those areas, you're not even allowed to have gas generators just simply due to the noise. So this is so simple and easy. It really has revolutionized the backup power industry, and Ecoflow is the global leader in this space. This is all they do is power stations. They don't make blenders, they just do power stations. Global leader, top rated brand here at QVC. And I've been selling electronics for 24 years. I've never being an electronic item that is customer top rated. So let me tell you why that is. You get this home, it comes to you about 30% charged, and all you're going to do is take that AC plug, plug it into the wall for another hour, and you're going to be 100% charged. You're going to be ready to go. So you charge it, and then you just decide where you want to store it. I keep mine in my coat closet. And then when the power goes out, you simply, roll it out from your trolley, turn on the button, and you just start plugging in items. There's no setup, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no passwords, there's no Bluetooth. That's why people love this brand. Because like if you're 7 or 97, anybody can do this. And it really provides big power. So we're talking for a full-size refrigerator, you could power that for about 28 hours. And I'm going to show you how you can even extend it further than that. A CPAP machine, right? A lot of us need CPAP machines to be able to sleep. You could do for 23 hours. Laptop, you could do for 28 hours. Your cell phone for multiple days. And the beauty about Ecoflow that really sets it apart as well is that this supports 99% of everything in your home. So even things with heating elements, things like coffee makers, air fryers, microwave ovens, hair dryers, curling irons. You could even plug your washing machine into this. So this really fits the bill of when the power goes out, what do? You pull out your EcoFlow and it's not a big deal. Your day just keeps humming along. You're now thriving in a power outage. You're not just surviving a power outage.
That's exactly right. I mean, I will tell you that when we lost power for 3 days last summer, I grabbed this and we were thriving in the power outage. What weren't we doing? Well, we weren't cleaning out our fridge because everything spoiled. We weren't cleaning out our freezer, throwing away the hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars of food that we had stored in there. I can pretty confidently tell you that my chest freezer does have more than $859 worth of food in it. And if this EcoFlow saves my chest freezer one time, it's paid for itself. I mean, truly, let's think about that for a second. How much money worth of food, worth of meat, worth of condiments, worth of drinks do you have in your fridge? If I was to tell you right now, I want you to go out, get rid of everything in your refrigerator and in your freezer, and I want you to go out and buy brand new, how much is that going to cost you? Because if the answer to that question is more than $859, this is a must buy. And here's why. Because the very first time that you use this and it powers your fridge, survives that power outage, and everything inside of it stays exactly at the same temperature as it was when you had the power on, that means that this has paid for itself in one time. Well, what happens over the next year when you use this 10 times? It's paid for itself 10 times over. Can you imagine if, let's say you lost the power, I think 10 times can even be a little bit of an exaggeration of what you would lose power in a year. Let's say you lost the power 3 times in a single year and you have $1,000 worth of food every single time. That's $3,000 in savings that you have right there on the very first year. Now that's a big what if scenario, right? There's all these scenarios of, well, what if I lost the power 12 times in a single year? Maybe you're someone like Melissa who lives in a little bit more of a rural part of the country, and that's reality. The reality is that you do lose power over and over and over again. If you are one of those homes, this is a must-have. And Melissa, when we think about it, you and I say all the time, this really should be like your realtor's gift to you when you purchase a new home. It's okay, they could go ahead and hide it in the cost of the home if they wanted to, but this is something where every home in America, it's at the point where you kind of have to have this.
It really is like an appliance, and I'm sure, it's going to be kind of standardized, at some point with new homes. But, you kind of think about it, if your fridge goes out, you figure out a way that you're replacing that refrigerator, right? Tomorrow you go out and buy a refrigerator, you finance it, you do whatever you have to do. Backup electricity really should be that same level of importance. For me, when we finally got backup electricity, as you said, I recently moved to a rural area. And we're surrounded by huge trees, so whenever we have a big storm, it's like, oh no, we're probably going to lose power, right? And fortunately for us, it does happen several times a year. Sometimes a couple minutes, sometimes a couple hours, sometimes it is a couple days. And so with EcoFlow, we just kind of keep going. The last time I lost power, and it was the middle of the night, so the air conditioning shut off. So that is kind of what woke me up. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of hot. Oh, the air conditioner's off. Oh, our power's off. And I'm like you, Justin. I have so much food in my fridge. We have the deep freezer. We do the half a cow every year. We've got tons of beef down there. So I'm like, oh no, I got to get everything plugged in. My husband's still sound asleep. So I get up, grab the EcoFlows. We do have one for every level of our home. So in the basement, right, it's the sump pump, it's the dehumidifier, it's that chest freezer that I need to get plugged in. On the main level, I'll be honest, the first thing I did was start brewing a pot of coffee. That was the first thing I did, just be able to function. And let's face it, turn some lights on, right? When it's middle of the night and it's dark, to be able to get light going, like
Yes.
everything just feels a little bit better. Then I got the main fridge plugged in. So my husband comes down a couple hours later. It's like the coffee's made, there's lights on, the fridge is on. I've even got like the router going. So we kind of have like the YouTube, music going on and the TV in the morning. Like he didn't even realize that the power was out, right? Because everything was just kind of humming along as normal. That's the beauty of EcoFlow. Like you're not just like trying to figure out, we got to go buy ice and styrofoam coolers and what are we going to do? Like it's normally a panic situation when the power goes out. When you have EcoFlow, you just start plugging everything in. You can charge up to 15 different devices at the same time. And you can do everything like from a USB, from like your cell phone, because let's face it, you need to kind of be getting those updates about when the power is coming back on, what's happening with the storm, charging our cell phone day to day. Everything from your cell phone all the way up to your washing machine. Everything can plug into this. 99% of everything in your home. The only two appliances this isn't going to work with is your dryer, right? So that's a
Right,
220
220
plug,
line.
and your oven. That's a 220, and you can't really get access to that anyway. It's right behind the wall.
Right.
But what do we do when the oven goes out? We're using our microwaves, air fryers, blenders,
Well,
crock pots, toasters, and this works with all of those.
Exactly. And if you're like me and you have a gas oven, then you're using the natural gas. But you can have a light that is now powering on. You can have your fridge that is running, and you can do a full cooking, your full meal right there with this. I want to remind you that if you were to go out and pay for this normally, you're looking at $1,319. Even at that price, this is amazing. I mean, truly, $1,300, that would be an incredible price for this. But today, we've made it a lot better. $859.98. You have a savings of $459. What are you going to do with the extra $459 that we just gave you in a savings? That's a pretty solid savings that you have on this machine. It's shipping to you for free. I want you to keep in mind that this weighs 42 pounds. That's a pretty big bill of shipping that you would normally get for something that weighs 42 pounds. It's on us. Don't worry about it. That shipping and handling, there is no cost to that whatsoever. Your item number is E327956. It's here at QVC. That not only will you get the Ecoflow power station, the Delta 3, you're going to find that elsewhere. You also get, though, the Delta 3 and the Trolley so that you will be able to move this around with ease. This actually folds right up so that you can store this into your coat closet. You lift it up when the power goes out, you wheel it out, and then you plug it in. Speaking of the plugs, I would love to take a tour of this and show everybody the different options that you have when it comes to plug it in. Do you mind walking us through the unit here, Melissa?
Yeah, absolutely. So we love that nice bright LCD display. Shows you how many hours of power and the percentage of power that you're at. So right now you have 99 hours of power and you're at a 48% charge. Right underneath that, you have 6 USB ports coming included. So you can charge all of your smaller devices, everything from your, laptops to your cell phones, your Bluetooth speakers, Bluetooth headphones. So 6 USBs, 2 of those being your newer Type-C connections as well. So all of your USBs kind of right there on the front. So kind of newer technology, older technology, we've got you covered. You even have 2 fast charging ports coming included as well. And then around on the back, if you could flip it around for me, Justin, is kind of where we get really excited because that's where you have the 620 volt connections. And 2 of them are those nice 3-prong connections. So you know how things like our microwaves, air fryers, sump pumps, kind of our more powerful electronics, hair dryers have that 3rd prong, right? So we want to give you 2 of those 3-prong connections, and they're nice and spaced out so you can actually plug in 6 different devices at the same time here. Right above that as well is where you're going to find the ability to be able to recharge. Now, I love that we're including the home charger to plug it into the wall. Again, 0 to 100% in only 90 minutes, fastest recharge times in the industry. And then that little orange port is where your car charger is going to plug in. We do give you the car charging cord available as well. So if you love camping, RVing, tailgating, yes, you can recharge this in the car. Or guess what? Let's say you've been out of power for days, your EcoFlow is low, you can go recharge it in your car. So
Wow.
Lots of ability here. And if you have other EcoFlow solar panels, maybe you're already an EcoFlow customer, you have solar panels from one of our other EcoFlow systems, yes, they will be compatible with this as well. So what we kind of do here from our EcoFlow customers time and time again is, most of us are on our 2nd or 3rd EcoFlow. Like you got to EcoFlow, you went through the power outage, it, kind of saved you. And then you're like, well, now I'm kind of wanting, kind of err into convenience, right? And so you want to have one for every level of the home. That's really what I've been hearing mostly from our EcoFlow customers recently. They got one, they loved it, but now they're like, well, it really